Hey, 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 live to you from Denver. We're having so much solar activity. I thought I would pop on here and talk about that real quickly, but I want to show you that the Schumann has been very, very calm, which is helping with all of the solar flares and intensity. So as you can see, Gaia is cool as a cucumber down there, and the geomagnetic storm that they were thinking was possible is probably not going to happen today, which is awesome. So we get a break from that, I think, for the weekend. Just mostly flare, 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 flare. Eventually, of course, that will catch up to us Monday or Tuesday with the potential for a geomagnetic storm. But the solar wind speed, which was almost 600 kilometers per second, has slowed down to 450, which is helping us with that whole situation. Before I move on to the solar activity, I wanted you to notice that the Marconi readout will sometimes show those red spikes of activity, and the Schumann resonance from Tom's is like an average of the whole world, and the Marconi antenna tends to run hotter, and I think it's hilarious that the Vatican is being blasted with Schumann energy all the time. Maybe, lightning does strike you. But I didn't want anyone to see that and be confused or concerned or think there's a bigger thing happening than there is, or that Tomsk is not reporting properly. So here's the footage of the sun the last few days sped up for you because I'm impatient, and it's not going to include the M5 flare that we just had, but you can see there's been a lot going on up there. So I mentioned that big far side sunspot that is so big that it's changing the way the sun vibrates. That has just come around the limb. We had several M flares yesterday, which they said would have been bigger if that had already been Earth facing. So we just had an M5. We're having tons of C flares, larger C flares, I would say. So basically, it's like that solar flash thing I was talking about, and the sun is popping off, and that's the sun's job, to be honest. There are purposes for all of that. And usually, when the sun is intensely active like this, the Schumann settles down for a little while. So, this is a pretty normal pattern that I notice. But I would expect there's a good chance we're going to get an X flare sometime this weekend. So, I'm resting up for the Mother Mother concert tonight, and I will be recording a podcast episode next week about the sandwiched experience of Iron Maiden, then Mother Mother, and the rituals that accidentally happened there. Well, this one isn't an accident because now I know why I'm there. Have a great weekend.